Hi, welcome to Creative Recalibration. I'm your Neurospicy host, Carrie Ann. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about 10 tips for helping you to reduce stress this holiday season. So as a Neurospicy family, we have gotten rid of a lot of the traditions that just don't fit us anymore. So I want to share with you 10 ways that we can go about getting the holidays to where you want them to be. These tips are going to be all about self-empowerment and flexibility. And my goal is to help give you permission to let go of the societal pressure and create holidays and a season that feels authentic for you. So tip number 1, focus on what truly matters. In Unmasking Autism, Dr. Devin Price talks about values-based integration to help us as neurodiverse individuals unmask. So it's important for us to do the work to identify what our values actually are, and not the ones that have been imposed on us by family, friends, society, that have just felt really icky and uncomfortable. But find the ones that stand out to us and help us to create a much more robust and authentic life. So, what are values? Values are our deeply and sincerely held beliefs, the things that help guide and navigate our behaviors. So, when you can finally identify what matters most to you this holiday season, this will help guide the rest of your decisions to help you prioritize what traditions to keep, what traditions to change, and which traditions to get rid of altogether. So, for tip number 2, we're going to embrace the power of no. That is so hard for those of us who are also neurodivergent people pleasers. We are the ones who will say yes without thinking because we want to be helpful. We want people to like us. We want to feel connected with others. But right now, it's also really important for us to take time to care for ourselves. So once you've identified where your values are and what's important to you during the holiday season, then it's time for you to learn to say no and only agree to the things that fit what will bring you joy. This sets the stage for healthy boundaries throughout the entire season. Tip number 3, create a flexible plan. So there are things that are really important to neurodiverse people, and that is maintaining a routine. When our routines get out of whack, then it creates trouble for us. It creates this ick feeling that, we're outside of our own skin or in our own heads. However you describe that feeling when just the world gets out of whack, that's pretty much what the holidays are. It's everybody imposing their own will upon you. So with understanding where your values are and learning how to more effectively say no, this will give you the space to maintain your own personal routine while staying and remaining flexible when things come up that you actually do want to engage in during the holiday season. Tip number 4, microdose your self-care often. We have this weird commercialized idea that self-care has to be expensive and it has to be elaborate. The smaller things are the ones that matter. They're the ones that help keep me going throughout the day, especially when I'm getting overwhelmed with all of the variety of tasks that I need to do just to manage my household, but also the stress of the holiday season. So just those little things, like being able to enjoy my coffee in quiet. Like, one of the things that is currently on my self-care list, which when I do my daily to-do list, I include self-care. I include drinking my fluids every day. I have water, tea, and coffee all on there. Getting 10 minutes of exercise in, doing my personal yoga practice. But one of the ones that's been really special to me lately is doing embroidery in silence. And that is just a very lovely and quiet time to do something with my hands, but not be bombarded by other stimulus. So, those little things, play around with them, find what works for you. Taking the time to do small little things for yourself will help rejuvenate you and will help you avoid burnout through this extended season. Tip number 5, rehearse your boundaries with confidence. So it is important that we rehearse difficult conversations before they occur. Navigating family or social dynamics can be exhausting. So it's important to have short, firm things just in your back pocket that you can whip out so that you have time to process what the actual request was. Do you have time to commit to such a thing? Is it something that will bring you joy? Because a lot of times we get blindsided by all of these requests. If you're a people pleaser on top of all of that, you're going to accidentally say yes and commit to something. So you want to have phrases that are very kind, very loving, but give no wiggle room for the other person to insert their will or their dominance on you. So here are a couple of ideas. Thanks for the invite. Let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. I think I already have plans that day. I don't know. We want to get rid of wobbling. So I already have plans that day. I prefer to spend that day at home, but thanks for the invite. Having just a few simple phrases in your back pocket will help you to get out of awkward social situations that you don't really want to find yourself in. Tip number 6, pass on the wrapping paper. Gifts don't have to look perfect. And let me tell you, as a parent of 3 kids, this was a huge game changer. And I'm going to tell you how it started. My husband was in the military at the time, and this was around 2008. My oldest child was 3. And we were over at a friend's house, and my husband got off work early, and we hadn't wrapped any of the Christmas presents at all. And so he decided he was just going to put everything into a sack. And when we got home, Santa had already visited. Wow, that was so cool, on Christmas Eve. And we realized she didn't care that the gifts were wrapped. And we didn't waste all of that paper. And we didn't stress out about having everything perfect and wonderful and surprise and all of these things that just take up so much emotional space. And so I haven't wrapped gifts in how many years has it been? Is this 14 now? We just don't do it. And it saves the environment little by little. And we don't have any stress. I know I understand that that's not going to be for everybody. There are a lot of folks who really enjoy that pristine Pinterest image of the perfect Christmas. And that's okay if that drives and motivates you. But for me, it doesn't. So we chucked that idea right out the window. It's the intention behind the gift. And the holidays, they aren't supposed to be about the gifts anyway. Tip number 7, challenge consumerism. We're constantly bombarded with this concept of buy now, have this holiday sale. With all the other aspects of the season, the lights, the perfect presents, having the perfect tree, having the perfect meals, it gets really overwhelming. And as we've gotten more mature in our family, we've started to really downsize what the consumer aspect of our holiday season looks like. We don't have to have a Christmas that's bigger or better than it was last year because there's no need for it. It just adds a lot more stress and a lot more panic that we have to get the sale or we have to have all of these things for the stockings. We don't. Because I also know that for a lot of neurospicy folks out there, funds are really difficult. So I'm giving you permission to find the simple joys in the holiday over the consumerism. For tip number 8, I want to encourage you to eliminate the single day pressure. The holiday season can start as early as Halloween. A lot of people, it starts at Thanksgiving, and from there, it is just this one big bombardment of stuff and doing and pressure. It doesn't have to be like that. The holidays don't have to be about cramming everything into one day. So feel free to spread the festivities out over time. Tip number 9, create authentic traditions that feel like you. You're freed from societal pressures and you're going to make room for more meaningful traditions, whatever that looks like. And that might look different every single year because every year is different. This year, we have been doing some renovations in the house. Things are in a bit of chaos, and we don't have a place to put up a tree. So we've kind of thought about some other ways that we've done trees in the past, and this year we're having a Catmas tree. So my daughter just adopted a kitten, and their scratching tree looks like a Christmas tree to me. So that's where all of our stockings and goodies are going to go under this year. So who knows? That might be a new thing that we do every year, or it might just be a one-off tradition. But that's where the flexible plan comes in and making it meaningful to us to have a tradition that works. So take that time to be creative, be flexible, maintain the traditions that work for you. So the last tip is give yourself permission to opt out of anything that does not serve you this year. And again, that might change from year to year. There might be things that you're like, wow, this is the most amazing thing ever. And then the next year you're like, wow, I'm kind of really missing this element. And so go for it. Do it. The holidays are supposed to bring you joy. If it isn't fun, if it feels draining, if it feels wrong, if it just makes you feel ick inside and out, honor your needs right now in this moment and give yourself permission to take a step back whenever you need it. So feel free to make it your own this holiday season, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. You are worthy of your own ways, your own traditions, your own peace of mind this holiday season. Reclaim it for yourself and use these 10 steps to de-stress your holiday. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments below how you like to de-stress around the holidays.